Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Peter, moderator for this conference. Welcome to the conference call of Gujarat Mineral Development Corporation Limited, arranged by Concept Investor Relations to discuss its third quarter and 9 months ended December 31st, 2021. We have with us today Shri Rupwant Singh, IAS Managing Director, Shri L. Kulushrestha, Chief General Manager and Chief Financial Officer, Shri H.K. Joshi, Senior General Manager, Technical, Shri Swagat Vai, General Manager, Project Planning and Development, Srimati A.K. Iyer, General Manager, House, Shri Joel Evans, Company Secretary. At this moment, all participants are in listen-only mode. Later, we will conduct a question and answer session. At this time, if you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Please note this conference is recorded. I would now like to hand over the floor to Shri Rupwant Singh, Chairman and Managing Director. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yes, please. Hello. You can begin.
Mr. Rupwant Singh, your line has been unmuted. You can continue.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. We all are able to hear you.
Yes, please. Can we begin?
Yes, you can.
Please. So, I would like to begin with highlighting a few brief facts. GMDC is a very old and established company which has presence throughout the state of Gujarat. Though lignite business is its mainstay, we have had a challenging year last year, but the company has come back and we have posted our third quarter results in the current year. And the revenue at 764 crores is the highest ever quarterly revenue. The profit before tax and after tax also I'll share is the highest that has ever been achieved in a quarter, stands at 220 crores. The market capitalization, with your interest and active follow-up, has zoomed from approximately 1900 crores last year around the same time to 3900 crores today. Thank you. We welcome you all participants from different sectors of the financial world. We are ready to take your questions, please.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to withdraw yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Amit Dixit with Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity and congratulations for a good set of numbers and a turnaround quarter. I have 3 questions. The first one is with respect to the appointment of consultant to explore various strategic options that you highlighted in the call last time. So just wanted to understand the progress on that front. Specifically, what are different options that have been identified at this stage, including foray into, rare earths, lithium mining, or whatever is doing rounds in media. So that is the first question. If you can let us know the progress in this regard and any high-level plan that has been, put on the table for the management.
Yes, please. The second one, please. And
Yeah.
we call the second, we will reply together.
Yeah, sure. The second question is essentially on the website you have put in that, the advertisement for the post of advisor for bauxite sector, for cement sector. So just wanted to understand the broad strategy in both the divisions. Cement, of course, we don't know. Bauxite, the division is there, but so far it has not picked up. So if you can highlight what sort of, strategic intent is there for this, like 3-year plan or 5-year plan. The third question is more operational related. This time we saw the tax rate is quite high and it has been lumpy throughout. So in the first quarter, the tax rate was 16.4%. In the second quarter, it's 32%, 31.8%. So what would be the full year tax rate? How do we model it? So these are the 3 questions.
So, Amit, I'll begin with the first answer to the first. To steer GMDC on its journey towards the reform path, we have appointed Boston Consulting Group, BCG, as our strategic advisor for GMDC Corporation. And this was brought to the notice of the board also in the meeting that was held yesterday. We have certain concerns where we lose some revenue. That is our thermal power plant. To bring that back on track and to solve that issue, we have appointed A.T. Kearney as our advisor to help us make a better decision on the way forward. As far as the third strategic foray is concerned, that is that we are doing in partnership with the government of Gujarat. We have requested Government of Gujarat body, Gujarat Mineral Research and Development Society, to help us there. Where in GMDC in partnership with GMRDS has brought out an RFP, which is in the final stages of being concluded, which will help us steer in that journey towards developing rare earths and making Gujarat a rare earths hub. And for the second question, you would have seen advertisements for a consultant for cement and bauxite. Bauxite, yes, is one of the sectors that we deal in, but we want to capture appropriate value for all the effort that we put in. We have significant amounts of slightly short of 1 million tons of unsold inventory. Plus, whatever we generate is not readily tradable. So, to improve the tradability and desire for that product, we are getting best in sector advice. And as far as the cement is concerned, as far as our existing projects in Kutch and for the upcoming lignite projects, which we had spoken about earlier and you had written in great detail about them also, there is a significant interburden or overburden, you can say, of limestone. We want to channelize, capitalize on that opportunity. Those are huge reserves. So to take the right step forward, we are building in-house capacities. And for the tax rate operations, I would request our General Manager Accounts, Mrs. Anupama Iyer, to answer that question.
Good evening, Mr. Amit. This is Anupama Iyer. Hello.
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. So actually, in the first and second quarter, almost our 50% of the profit were from the windmill. Okay. So our all windmills are under ATIA, so we are getting tax exemptions from that. Our PBT of 50% of our PBT from renewable energy, and all are exempted in the income tax act. During the current quarter, The profit before tax is 220 crore. Only 9 crore is from renewable energy. The rest of the amount is the taxable. That's why this tax rate is high during the current quarter.
Sure, ma'am. That explains it. I have two more follow-up questions. So can I ask them now, or should I come back in the queue?
I don't have an issue, but if you ask the moderator what you want to do, I don't have an issue.
I'm sorry, I didn't get you.
Amit, I can take the question, but very briefly.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So just wanted to understand, on the cement side, that what is the capacity that you are contemplating? And similarly, in case of bauxite, when you say that it is not readily tradable, is it the problem with the grade or anything else? That is the first question. The second one is on the first part that you mentioned, developing rare earths with the GMRDS. So, is there some capacity that we have thought about? What are these rare earths? Is it possible to throw some more light on that? And also, is lithium also in the radar?
As far as bauxite is concerned, the answer is very simple. The deposit in Kutch is slightly different from what we get in the eastern part of the country. The industry is more geared towards absorbing that. So we end up with a lot of unsold stock which goes classified as NPG, which is a certain lower grade of alumina. So we want to take a call on that, how it could be beneficial, it could be traded to the right people. For the RWE and the lithium thing, Amit, please hold. We shall be coming back to you once we are able to speak more authoritatively on that.
And cement plant?
Pardon? Cement? Hello? Amit, can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, sir. This is the operator. The second question is from the line of Bajrang Bafna with Sunidhi Securities. Please go ahead.
Congratulations for the good numbers, specific set of numbers, after a gap of 4-5 years for GMDC. So, sir, I think there are multiple projects that we are working currently, apart from, the lignite side. So you talked about a bit on the rare earth where you say that you need some time to talk authoritatively on that. But the other projects like fluorospar project and multi-metal project, if you could throw some light, on them, will be really helpful. That when we can see some ramp up in the fluorospar project and multi-metal projects and could be visible, on our profit and loss account. That will be helpful, sir.
Any other question, Bajrang?
Sir, one more question on the lignite pricing side. Of late we have seen the global international prices have gone up, to almost, let's say, $160 that what we normally import in our country for 6,000 GCV. So how is this pricing done? We are every 15th day we are increasing 5% for our customers. So in terms of get some sort of understanding that how are we pricing our lignite and once we see some sort of fall in the international prices, how are we going to tackle that situation? And what is the exact strategy, for pricing the lignite to the domestic consumers? And I have gone through your site, where you have mentioned that the number of customers have gone up from almost, 600 customers last quarter to almost close to 1,200 customers right now. So exactly what is happening on that side and why such a sort of, demand has come up suddenly and whether it is sustainable, both from a volume and the pricing perspective. So if you could guide on that, will be really helpful, sir.
So I'll begin with the first one. These two projects have been, fluorospar and multi-metal Ambaji project have been expense or cost centers for us, and they have resulted into being expense centers. They are both very ambitious projects, especially Ambaji multi-metal project. Repetitively on it, say in 6 months from now, we have begun work at a very initial stage, so it would not be appropriate to comment there. As far as the fluorospar plant is concerned, we are going to take a call on reviving mining and reviving the plant. This is also very close to the potential REE deposits. So you should see more activity on the fluorspar in the coming 6 months. For the multi-metal projects, please wait for some time. Lignite pricing, yes. What has been the achievement of the past 4 months is a greater awareness at GMDC of 3-4 factors: the global pricing, the ports where they are being imported, the stocks currently lying there, the rates available for different grades in different parts of the state. So all these things are taken into account, and whenever our allocation cycle comes, so whatever the price rise happens, you would have noticed it is not usually a floor rise. It is directed towards a certain category or a certain plant project from where it is sourced. Global prices peaked in October, flattened out in December and in early January, and now there's again an uptick. So even if there's a correction, we hope that there will be a new normal. And again, we are committed to serving the small and middle sector of industries in the state of Gujarat, and our prices are still significantly competitive to those, while at the same time not damaging the prospects of GMDC.
Okay. So just I want to squeeze one more question on the BCG, which has been already on board with us. So if you could broadly guide us, because we have been tracking GMDC, I think, for last decade or so. And the last time also the bigger issue was that whatever cash flows that was getting generated from the business were diverted to wind power, where ROEs are pretty suboptimal, and that was the precise reason for the very dismal stock performance also, because we were not able to generate the kind of ROEs that we should ideally have been. But this time I think you have taken completely altogether a different route, and the financial consultant is on board to guide you where you should put the money, and what is the broad strategy, and what sort of responsibilities this BCG will be having, and what sort of investments, just line we see the balance sheet is close to 1,200 crore kind of cash which could be utilized for these upcoming projects. So if you could guide on both sides, will be really appreciated by the analyst community, sir. Thank you.
Bajrang, we have onboarded BCG yesterday, so even the contract is yet to be signed. So please give us more time. By the next quarter, we'll be able to say something more on how good our choice was and what kind of value they are bringing us. You have made a very well-founded point as to where the reserves of the company need to be deployed, what kind of ROE they generate. We have had a good history of generating better ROEs from our mining. Initially, it was metals, then it went to non-metals. Now we want to deepen both, because we have our own experience whereby we can generate better ROEs. So the capital will be deployed towards a better return.
Got it. Thank you very much.
A point very well made by you. Thank you so much.
Okay. So we'll come back in future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Jash Shah with ValQ Investment Advisory. Please go ahead.
Good evening to all. I just have one question. We've seen a considerable rise in price in lignite in this quarter. So, and we also took a price hike on the 1st of Jan. So, do we see another high in revenue in Q4 as well?
Can you repeat the question? There was you said that there was a rise in January, and what did you say after that? Josh, can you please repeat?
Yeah, sure. So basically my question is that we took a price hike on the 1st of Jan. So will that be reflecting on the Q4 results as well with a higher revenue uptick?
Obviously.
Okay. So I just started tracking the company. So just one question. We also took a price hike in Q3 as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That sums up my question.
Yes, please.
Thank you. The next question is from Abhinav Khandelwal from Mahindra Manulife Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thanks for taking my question. Just one question. When you added these 600 customers in last quarter, just wanted to understand, now these customers would have come as the coal availability from Coal India would have been a problem. So just wanted to have your views. Let's say if the non-FSA Coal India availability improves, how confident we are of these customers picking up the volumes. So just trying to have a view of yours on this, sir.
So, Abhinav, you have a point, and these people gravitated towards us. Most of these people are small and middle level of enterprises. Most of their needs are met principally from GMDC and from imported Indonesian and now lately Australian coal. And the way their furnaces are designed, they usually use a blended mix of them to the machines and to achieve the desired calorific value. Yes, if the international coal prices ease up, there will be a certain reflection on it, but not to that extent, because at the moment, since we have limited supply and more number of consumers, so everybody gets a prorata cut in their quota. So we will be able to do better justice to the customers. And many of these new customers which have been added have been our earlier customers also, which had gone dormant.
Okay, sir. So we don't compete on, let's say, from the Coal India supply. We are competing with the international imported coal.
No, we don't.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks.
Thank you, Abhinav.
Thank you. The next question is from Vikain Gopani with Capri Global. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much for taking my question. I'd like to first appreciate the results that you have delivered for the quarter. I have three questions. First question is with regards to the potential capital outlay that you would intend to do across the projects that are in the pipeline. While some are more at the drawing board stage and with the consultant, they may be detailed out. But let's say projects related to bauxite or cement, are there any capex numbers that you could outline on that? That is the first question. The second question is with regards to the overall lignite pricing. So if you could give me the average realization for Q3, the exit realization for Q3, and what would be the current realization on an average. That's on the realization front. And the third question is on the thermal power plant. I understand that the PLF in Q3 was about 30%, and the loss for the quarter, there was a marginal loss that you reported for the quarter. So and Q4 you are trending towards 60% plus kind of PLF. So what would as you move towards this PLF, how do you see the profitability of the thermal power plant shape up? If you could sort of give some outlook on that front. Yeah, these are my three questions. Thank you.
So, Rikin, I have answered the questions on capital outlay a number of times, but I'll still repeat them. Though we have reserves, but in light of the projects that we are chasing, they would be used. For example, we would be principally concentrating on the 6 new lignite projects, and each project would have an initial kickoff outlay of 200 to 250 crores. As far as the bauxite project is concerned, there we would not be making a significant capital investment. They would be smaller ones, but they would have they would have a lot of effect on the revenue we realize from bauxite. Delving into the topic of cement, that is still at a nascent stage, and that would we would like to comment on it slightly later.
Okay.
Number
Sure.
2, your lignite pricing. You want to know what the realizations are and how they are going to pan out in the fourth quarter. Is that the question?
Yeah, the average, the exit realization in Q3 that you've achieved, and what is the current realization that you're seeing?
From lignite, I will tell you our realizations are, I'll read out from somewhere. I will read out our realizations from revenue are if in percentage times, from an year-to-year basis on the lignite, we are up 72% in quantity, and in sales we are up 128%. Now, as far as the Q3 realizations were concerned, they were good, and they are the result of the price revisions that we have been taking from August.
Right.
To September, October, and November and December. So now we have reached a new normal, and now you're much good at numbers than me. So just realize if that all those corrections and with a resurgent price of imported coal, how fourth quarter would pan out.
Right.
Okay. I cannot comment too many on numbers, but I have given you the key.
Right. Just one number there, sir, if you could sort of highlight, is that what is the exit realization in Q3, if you can sort of help us with that?
Exact realization in Q3. Revenue from operations is 1675 crores compared to 773 of previous years.
So actually, what I meant was exit, meaning the not the full quarter number, but let's say what you would have achieved as a realization at the end of the quarter, in the last month of the quarter or so, because the average is what you would have realized in the reported numbers.
For mining?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the lignite business. Yes.
The profit before tax would be in mining would be 258 crores up for the 9 months now. 258. They want only for the quarter.
Sure.
Sir, for the quarter itself, revenue from mining is 697 crore rupees and PBT is 204 crores.
For the quarter. And ma'am, if you could just tell me what is the exit realization for the mining business at the end of Q3?
697 crores.
Okay, all right. Maybe I'll take this question. Maybe if you could just also address the question on the power plant. That's the last question. Thank you.
Rikin, if you could send us a mail, we'll reply to this question. We'll send you a sheet. With this information. Yes.
Sure.
As far as the thermal power plant is concerned, yes, we were at 30% because one of the turbines was not working. That turbine is now back, so we'll be burning less of cash. It was a negative cash center for us. There was daily cash burn. We hope to reduce it. And as mentioned earlier to an earlier friend, we have onboarded 80 Kearney. So in the coming 3 to 6 months, we hope to resolve this issue also.
Right, sir. So if you could sort of articulate some numbers here. So from a loss that you've reported in the current quarter because of 30% utilized PLF and only one boiler being functional, when you reach a 60%, would you be at least a break-even or you would be profitable? What would be the directional trend?
Profitability would require us to go slightly higher in the range of 65 to 70% PLF. But because of the shutdown and the damages that happened to the plant, we would not like to run full steam, and we'd like to play it cautiously in this quarter. Pushing machinery to its limit may have slight consequences. because we have to put in some capital expenditure there. So we will be taking a call on the heavy capital expenditure after our advisor advises us in the right direction.
Hi, this is the operator. Mr. Viken,
Sure.
if you have more questions, please come back in the queue.
I'll come back to the queue. Sure. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of time and fairness to all participants, please restrict questions to 2 per participant. The next question is from Ashish Kejriwal with Centrum Broking. Please go ahead.
Everyone. So I have 2 questions. One is, obviously you talked about that it's too early to talk about rare earth, but my question is, in times to come, how can we see rare earth as a percentage of our revenue? Because besides lignite, whatever we have done so far, whether it's plus power, wind power, or power plant thermal power, that's very insignificant as compared to overall lignite. So how do we see rare earth as a percentage of overall revenue whenever you take it up? That's my first question. And second question is, for thermal power plant, we have seen since ages, I think for last 10 years, despite appointing Capco and others, we are unable to turn around. So is it possible to shut the plant so that, at least the cash burns, which we have been doing every now and then, that will completely go off?
So I'll answer the second question first, Ashish. We are exploring all options right down from scrapping the plant to its revival. So the entire spectrum will be analyzed. But since capital to the tune of 1,600 crores has gone into this plant over a period of time, we would like, and it is a significant and a big capitalized asset, we would like to take a better decision. So we have onboarded the sector best firm on this, and hopefully by next quarter we will be able to take an informed decision in the board. And there are fundamental reasons for why this plant has not been working well and why it has been a pain point. One of them is the power purchase agreement. GMDC is also in the process of engaging with GUVNL to renegotiate some of its terms. As far as RE is concerned, I would again like to beg your forgiveness. Please give us time to come back on this. But broadly, at GMDC, we now have a vision of ensuring that at least or near to 50% of our revenues come from non-lignite business, so that we are future-proof and we are more ecologically sustainable also.
Sure. Thanks and all the best.
Sure.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jayesh Shah with OHM Portfolio Equity Research. Please go ahead.
Sir, thank you for the opportunity. I have 2 questions. Going back to the previous participant, we just want to know what was the average lignite price for the entire quarter and what was the price by 31st December.
Okay.
And the second question is, I thought that we operated at higher PLF in third quarter for the thermal plant over the second quarter, but the profitability is less. So am I missing something, or and can you also explain how much have you overall written off in terms of impairment for the power plant, which is part of some note to account? Thank you.
So the average price, what were the 2 timelines that you mentioned?
Average price for the entire third quarter for you and the December end price.
December end price, the average weight price would be in the range of 2100, and before that it would be 2500.
So December would have come down, is it?
2000 to, and it was there, and now it's 2100.
Okay. And would you also tell us the price for September end?
September end. Okay, just let me see. Yes, we were burning cash at that point of time. It was in the range of 1,500.
Okay. Thank you. That's very useful. And now on the power plant, sir.
Power plant. Yeah, it is, and we are suffering principally on account of a very harsh PPA, where very stringent norms have been pushed down on us, and we are trying to correct that mistake fundamentally by renegotiating the PPA. That is currently being at a high level of discussion with GUVNL. Hopefully, we see some light on that day.
Right. And what was the total amount written off till now? Because there is some note on the impairments. So up till now, up to 1,600 crore, how much is totally written off?
Around 394 crores, 394 crores.
Okay. Thank you. That's very useful. Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Bajrang Bafna with Sunidhi Securities. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the follow-up question. Sir, if you could throw some light on our manganese ore project where we have entered into a JV with Moil India. So I think there are multiple, opportunities that we are looking at this juncture. And if you could throw some light on that will be helpful. And as far as, cement is concerned, just, one worrying aspect that we are bringing to your notice is that cement, plant is completely, a different business, from the mining business that we are really into at this point of time. And, that requires huge investments also. And since we are earmarking a couple of projects on the mining side, the cash that we are having right now will be adjusted there. And it should not happen that we end up, bringing debt on our books, which will further strain our return ratios profile. So just a humble request and some concern from our side, if you could take this into consideration. And, if we directly sell these limestones to the cement plants, I think that will be our core business where we are currently into, and will not jeopardize our future prospects, from the mining side. Thank you very much, sir.
Bajrang, for the joint venture with Moil, we would be commenting on it because MOU needs to be further structured for us to move forward. We were waiting for the strategic advisor to be onboarded, and we shall be replying to it after we have had the round of consultations with our strategic advisor. Your concerns on the cement are true and well-founded, but I must inform you that these are not cement mines. These are lignite mines, and limestone occurs only as an intermediary layer. So it is overburden. So it is an attempt to capitalize on a mineral which would otherwise be wasted.
Okay, got it. Sir, just one, we would request you to, put out that average realization part, because I think the number that you spoke about, are not, going exactly with our calculation, because last quarter the volume was 2.24 million tons that we have put out on our, portal. And
what I do is, so if you could just send me a mail, I would revert with the average weight cost, which we calculate every fortnight, and we'll share it with you.
That will be helpful, sir. If you could put up that in the exchanges also, I think all the participants will be benefited by that. I'll frame the question and I'll send it to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Ravindranath Nayak from Sunidhi Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello. Thank you for the opportunity, sir, and congratulations for good numbers. So I have three questions. One is that what is the volume guidance for FY22? And you mentioned that your average realization is 2,100 realization for lignite. If I calculate, it is not matching. So for that matter, can you please give the breakup of the sale of different minerals in this quarter so that we can calculate properly the lignite realization? And second thing is that why the renewable generation is low as compared to the previous years? Can you please answer that question? That will be helpful. And what is the sale of different power projects? If you can tell upon that would be helpful. And there is a write back on the inter-segment of 15.6 crore. What is that pertains to? And lastly, if you can, because if the current realization will continue, then you would be ending up in a 400 to 500 crores of operating cash flow. So what is the proper CapEx guidance for next year? If you can throw some light upon that will be helpful, sir. Thank you very much.
So I'll start with the last question first. CapEx guidance for next year, we have significant and ambitious plans in light of operationalizing the new lignite projects and in light of expanding the capacities that are available for our Bhavnagar and Tadkeshwar projects. So most of the capital expenditure would be going in that direction.
What is the quantity? Can you quantify, sir?
I missed the question, your second last question. It was not very clear. Could you please repeat it?
Can you please quantify that? What is the CapEx would be for next year?
So I would request Mrs. Anupama Iyer to give a view on that.
Next year will be around 600 crores. Out of that, around 400 crores will be in this land. 450 crores will be in the land, to acquire land for the new project as well as for the existing project.
Okay. What is the right back related, and other two questions regarding the low generation of the renewable energy, and what is the volume guidance for 22? And different minerals turnover, if you can provide that would be helpful.
The project-wise turnover you can mail us. We'll give you the mineral-wise turnover. We'll provide you the mineral-wise turnover. And for renewal, third quarter is almost is every time the third quarter is the lowest one. First and second quarter are the highest one for as per the wind velocity.
Okay. So despite the thermal power plant generation is high this quarter as compared to previous quarter, so the profitability in this quarter has been in the power projects has come down. That is the reason?
Yeah, losses has come down because of the high increase in PLF.
Okay. No, I'm just asking you the power project EBIT, it has gone down from 7.2 crores to 3.5 crores this quarter. So is the reason is that the renewable energy generation is low?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the right back of 15.6 crore in inter-segment pertains to?
It is lignite transfer from our mines to power plant.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from Ashish Kejriwal with Centrum Broking. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question again. So my question is on lignite volume. We are investing in our 6 new projects. So is it possible to guide us the kind of volume trajectory which we are seeing for next 3 years, and if any of these new projects will come into it?
And any other question, Ashish?
Yeah, another question is, as of now, whatever existing projects are, is it safe to say that our cost has peaked out over there, and whatever incremental realization increase will be there, that will be beneficial for us?
So I'll answer the first question. Yes, in the coming 3 years, you should see us handling a bigger share of the Gujarat market. Currently, the Gujarat market for this kind of fuel, lignite and imported coal, is in the range of 24 to 27 million tons. we are able to cater to, over different years, we have catered to it in the range of 6 to 9 million tons. With our existing projects, we have an ambitious target of reaching 10 million tons. And of course, in the coming 3 years, these new projects would significantly add to the capacity. I'll not be in a position to answer it now, but I would be in a position to answer it more confidently in the coming quarters on when, how much capacity would be added, because there are many steps to be cleared still till they become operational.
Okay. So, sir, you are talking about the new projects for that. For existing from 8 to 10, where this output will come in, and 8 to 10 will come in by FY25, or it can come in FY24?
Next year, as we have said earlier. Next financial year, and principally it will be from our Bhavnagar and Tarkeshwar projects.
Okay. And sir, about next question on cost?
Next question I slightly missed. Sorry, it was not very clear.
My question was for the existing capacity and the moment we are going from 8 to 10, are we seeing any cost escalation in any of our mines? And why I'm asking is that because of that, if whatever price increase we take in lignite, will that be directly going into the bottom line?
Only one, the Rajbardi project, because we are mining at great depths. The stripping ratio is high. But then again, it is still viable because it is very good quality product, highest calorific value project, but the volumes are very low. So we are able to sustain it.
Okay. So mean to say cost has peaked out?
Cost has peaked out.
Okay. Fair enough. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this ends our question and answer session. I would now like to hand the call back over to Mr. Rupwan Singh for closing comments.
Thank you, friends. If I could recount a few names, Amitji, Bajrangji, Jashji, Abhinavji, Rikinji, Jayeshji, thank you so much for these questions, and they were in fact very insightful and very deep questions, as if you have a very deep understanding of the company. Certain questions we were not able to answer, especially in the RW domain and exact capacities when we will be adding when, because we would like to present a clearer picture to the world. So we have begged your pardon in that. Rest, if this quarter has been good, please look at the next quarter. We should do good numbers. And next year we have an ambitious target with the existing projects. Hopefully we will meet again and we are able to live to our commitments. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all for being a part of the conference call. If you need any further information or clarification, please email at gaurav.g@conceptpr.com. That's gaurav.g@conceptpr.com. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your conference for today. Thank you for using Chorus Call conferencing services. You may now disconnect your lines. Thank you and